Why would you take her side against the thousands of people she defrauded, including a lot of elderly?
I think I was hoping that she was actually innocent.
You're talking wait, everyone. I never talk. That's what I want to know. I want to know.
You're here, and he's asking where you are because he just needs to make sure you're okay. If somebody wasn't Mormon, like I didn't really know anybody that was not Mormon when I was young.
Jen Shah nixes Andy Cohen's interview and wants to control her narrative. She's ordered to complete a mental health program after a jail sentence. Is there anything more to it? Has Shah been wrongfully accused of being a horrible person? Want more of the juiciest rumors about your favorite stars? For all types of celebrity news and pop culture, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on notifications for Celebrity Pop.
The entire girls' trip gets the master bedroom. Not you, side piece.
After pleading guilty in July to her involvement in a countrywide fraud scheme, the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star will go to jail next month. Shah was sentenced to 78 months in federal prison in early January. Standing before a court at the time, Shah once again acknowledged her involvement in this wicked scheme and said, "My actions have injured innocent people. I'd want to apologize by expressing that I'm doing all I can to earn the finances to make reparation."
You have no idea. You have no idea. The bullying is not okay.
Shah has admitted to promising older adults around the nation that they could enroll in tutoring classes to prepare for a paid sales career. Shah would then sell to the highest bidder whatever financial or personal information she obtained from her victims. According to many sources, Shah was supposed to sit down and share all her secrets in an interview with Andy Cohen, but she has reportedly canceled the session. Shah said on Instagram on Thursday, "On January 6th, I stood before Judge Stein and begged him to see me not as a fabricated character, but as the real Jen Shah. I'm now in a position, legally, emotionally, and cognitively, to answer inquiries and give a few unknown aspects about my situation. I want and need to convey these essential truths. I owe it to the people who love and support me to tell them the truth. I will not be doing the one-on-one with Andy Cohen and Bravo because of their unwillingness to remove contractual provisions that would allow the network to legally make misrepresentations of me and my story relating to any topics before and during my participation," Shah continued. Shah is worried that Bravo will make her appear awful. According to Shah, the conditions of a reality TV contract for the cable network series did not include an interview with Cohen conducted one-on-one. "I promised myself and my beloved family that I would not allow this aspect of my life to be sensationalized or falsely transmitted," said Shah, who shares her life with her husband, Sharif, and has 2 sons with him, Sharif Jr., who's 28 years old, and Omar, who's 19 years old.
On my kids, on my husband, on my dad. I am innocent. I did not do any of the things that have been alleged against me.
A source claims that Shah is an emotional wreck in the days leading up to the beginning of her time in prison. The disgraced star continued to apologize to those who have been hurt by my actions and my inability to control my narrative, adding, "I would rather stay silent and wait until I can accurately share my story than continue having complete lies and misrepresentations about me smeared across the headlines." At the end of her letter, Shah made a few of her fans a promise and said, "You'll get a response from me saying I will soon share my narrative and this challenging moment in my life." According to documents that TMZ was able to collect after Shah's time in jail is through, she'll be required to participate in a treatment program for mental illness. The order states, in addition to the possibility of receiving payments from a third party, you are expected to contribute to the cost of services given based on your capability to pay. During her time as a cast member on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, an ex-celebrity who had previously been on Bravo claimed in interviews that she'd been diagnosed with severe depression and was taking medicine for it. The lady, who will soon be sentenced to jail, revealed to the other cast members in a recent episode that she had tried to take her own life after being charged in a federal case. She said that at the time, she had accidentally locked herself in a lavatory, and to free her, her husband had to smash the door in. She said she needed to stay in the hospital for more than 2 days. While everything was going on, Shah told the judge in charge of meting out her penalty, "I'm sorry. Because of my choices, innocent people have been in danger. I want to begin by expressing my regret, and then I want to state that I'm doing all in my ability to acquire the money to make amends. My severe mental condition, which had been going untreated for a very long time, was the driving factor behind the creation of my fractured reality. At this very time, I find myself at a fork in the path. Before taking this medication, I had poor vision, but my eyesight was excellent after using it. The only regret is that I couldn't have a better bird's eye view of everything. I do apologize." On the other hand, it is quite improbable that she still has many fans in many parts of the globe. The judge, who was mentioned earlier, made this following statement regarding the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City during the most recent hearing for Shah. People should not be confused, and this court is not going to mistake the persona she plays on an entertainment program with the individual I have before me. On the surface, Teresa Giudice and Jen Shah have a lot of similarities with one another. Both are well known for their roles as stars in the Real Housewives franchises, and both have been the subject of judicial action for rather substantial financial offenses. Teresa received a prison sentence of 15 months in 2014 for participating in a plot to commit bankruptcy fraud. Since it's been claimed that Shah is so upset by this legal ruling that she cannot stop crying, maybe Teresa might provide some words of comfort to her fellow Bravo celebrity. I mean, you gotta try to keep it together as well as you could while you're in there, the 50-year-old host of the Namaste Bitches podcast stated in the episode released on January 11th. That's all you were able to accomplish. That's to say, and I'm certain that my children know, I was not responsible for anything, Joe told them. Only a little information was provided by Giudice, which may be because she went on to balk at the concept that she is in any way comparable to Jen Shah. Teresa told Melissa Feister, the other co-host, that she would never take someone else's money. I would never act like that. I would never act in such a way. That's such a shame. Because Teresa and her ex-husband evaded paying taxes on their actual income at the time, one might argue that lying to the government about one's finances, as Teresa admitted to doing years ago, is essentially the same thing as stealing money from other Americans. However, we can still understand what Teresa's getting at here. Gia, age 22, Gabriella, age 18, Melania, age 16, and Adriana, age 14, are Teresa's kids with her ex-husband, who served his jail term in 2019 and was subsequently deported back to his home country of Italy. When you're taking from somebody, the kids might read this and they may be like, "Mom, well, why'd you do this?" What do you tell your children in response to something like that? Giudice questioned the topic of her show in response to Shah's conduct. In December 2015, Teresa was freed after serving 11 out of her 15-month sentence. Earlier, she was questioned about Todd Chrisley and what that reality star might anticipate when he goes to jail. Teresa responded, "They will have a difficult time, but they must look at the bright side. However, they must maintain a relationship with their kids to succeed." Shah is preparing herself in the aftermath of Jen Shah being handed a sentence of 6.5 years in prison. The situation might have been a whole lot worse. People were seriously harmed as a result of her crimes. A little more than a month remains until the star of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is required to go to jail. People have a lot of different and complicated thoughts towards Jen and her future. How does she manage to keep it together? Life and Style has received information from a reliable source that sheds light on the emotional state of Jen Shah. A reliable source has revealed that she is a total disarray. The beginning of her 6.5 jail term starts on February 17th, and that's going to show up before she even realizes it. The source's information said Jen's been a total disaster since the sentence. An informant said that she doesn't want to go to jail. Well, nobody does, save for very few exceptions. The insider continued to elaborate, she still hasn't gotten her mind around it. Given Jen's character flaws and the damage she caused via her actions, it's hard to feel sympathy for her. However, if you spend more than 6 years behind bars, your life will be irrevocably altered for the worse. So, do you feel for her? What is your opinion about Jen Shah? Tell us in the comments, and for all types of celebrity news and pop culture, like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications for Celebrity Pop.